Good evening. This is CTV News for Wednesday, April the 3rd. I'm Sonia Shrivastava.
And I'm Patricia Vallone. Glad to have you with us tonight. Well, lawmakers were debating gun control legislation throughout the afternoon as Republicans seek to weaken a bill backed by the governor. The House rejected more than a dozen changes last night and many more today. One would have stripped away a major part of the bill that would have required people to submit their fingerprints to get a license for a handgun. But so far, the main parts of the legislation remain intact, including limiting magazines to 10 bullets and an assault weapons ban.
From the discussion on the floor yesterday, as you know, it was a very lengthy discussion on second reader on the amendments. There were some amendments that were accepted as friendly and some that we voted on just to clarify some of the issues like the PBJ and some of the other issues that came up. And we, the Judiciary Committee and the ACO Committee voted on those amendments.
And voted in favor of all of them?
In favor of them, that's correct.
Well, we did several amendments. They were upset about what happened yesterday with telling police officers who were off duty they could not take their firearms onto the location of a school grounds, and so they did back off of that and say that now you can if you're an off-duty police officer. They saw the good sense in allowing them to be on the property with their firearm, that they are trusted. So that was one of the amendments. Several other technical amendments changing some things.
And O'Malley has included $4.6 million in the supplemental budget proposal to implement a gun center that would help state police enforce the new provisions if the bill becomes law. Well, a compromise could be in the works for a bill to overhaul the Prince George's School Board. The Washington Post reports that the agreement would allow County Executive Rashawn Baker to choose the chair and vice chair of a retooled school system, but the board would still control the school's budget. The measure is now before the Maryland Senate. Lawmakers say they're not sure if an agreement can be decided before the General Assembly adjourns on Monday.
It's probably changed from complete control at this point to maybe not control over the budget, maybe not control over the superintendent, maybe the superintendent being a CEO. There's so many moving parts to this that it's almost impossible for us to really come up with a good product inside of 3 days. I think the way we're going about it now, we don't have a plan. I don't see a plan, no matter who it's coming from, that will tell me how we're going to improve the quality of education in Prince George's County.
And this just into the studio, we've learned that Prince George's senators have approved a measure that would allow the county executive to select a new superintendent as well as the chair and vice chair of an expanded school board. The Board of Education would remain in charge of the budget. The measure passed in a 7-to-1 vote. It now awaits approval from a Senate committee.
And one of the 3 finalists vying to be the next superintendent of Prince George's County Schools withdraws from the search process. Dr. Eric B. Coates notified the school board yesterday about his decision to pull out of consideration for undisclosed reasons. Dr. B. Coates currently heads Durham Public Schools in North Carolina. The final 2 candidates are interim superintendent Dr. Alvin Crawley and Mr. Harrison Peters, who serves as chief of schools in Chicago. Well, some people with criminal records could soon be able to get work at Maryland casinos. The measure would provide job opportunities to former offenders who committed minor infractions in the past. It would apply to all 5 currently licensed Maryland casinos, as well as 1 planned for Prince George's County. Under current law, anyone convicted of crimes of moral turpitude and gambling is prohibited from ever working at a facility with slot machines. The legislation would limit the ban to 7 years after a conviction or after a person comes off parole or probation. The measure still needs the governor's signature to become law.
1 man is dead and 3 others remain in the hospital tonight after a massive blaze ripped through their Silver Spring apartment building yesterday. Montgomery County officials confirmed the identity of the man who died as 63-year-old Edward Mager. According to investigators, the accidental blaze started in Mager's top floor unit. Authorities responded to the Montgomery Towers apartment complex on Silver Spring Avenue about 7 a.m. 3 other residents, including a 6-year-old child, continue to be treated for injuries sustained in the fire. The investigation is ongoing.